lockdown 1, 2, 3, and 4, and now we are in unlock 1. Many of us are still confined at home, and there is no way out even now unless or until we really are able to get over this pandemic and our infinitive enemy. I am here today to discuss with you some ways to keep a visually impaired school-going child engaged at home. In fact, this compulsory confinement for us at home these days creates a number of problems for us, and these problems are manifold for a visually impaired child, and we have to work out some ways to keep our visually impaired children, school-going children, engaged, and it becomes a primary concern for us also. Visually impaired child depends and largely on his auditory and tactual sense. And in his free time, let us discuss how he can be busy. As a parent or as a guardian, this is our responsibility to keep him all the time engaged. Number one, first thing is, I remember when we were students, there was a game that was taught to us which was called Search Out. What do? In a vessel, a variety of grains or dals, etc. are mixed and put and given to the child to identify. And once he is able to identify, the object is named and he is asked to pick it out. This will be possible after an initial identification for which the child will need your help. Once he is able to identify these objects, dals, grains, etc., the child will be able to associate the shape with the particular item. The exercise will arouse his interest and he will be involved. So this first game you try at home, which is called Search Out. The second thing is, we may try some exercises to develop his tactual sense. In the absence of vision, the dependence of the child on his tactual sense will increase manifold. As pre-reading activities and prior to learning Braille, his tactual sense may be developed by involving him in various activities, and I'll introduce these activities one by one. First is, we can take some cloths, CLOTH, cloth. Cloth having different texture from coarse to smooth is of great help. The sensitive fingers of the child will take some time to distinguish from very coarse cloth, and after that to more coarse and then smooth. For this, cotton, woolen, linen, silk, terylene, velvet, etc. material will be useful, with the arrangement from, as I said, more coarse to coarse and then soft. For this, a scrapbook with cloth material stuck in order may be prepared, and this scrapbook may be given to the students to feel so that their tactual sense is developed. The second activity is, once he is familiar with these different texture cloths, And once the pre-reading activities are over, the concept of braille cell with 6 dots having 2 vertical lines of 3 dots each and 3 horizontal lines of 2 dots each may be developed. This can be done in various ways. Examples are like we can take grains and dals, etc., and these grains may be stuck on a piece of paper or 6 holes of the braille cell may be made in thermocol with 6 marbles being used for dots. This in fact works out very well because marbles are big in size, bigger than dots, and initially the child will be very comfortable with touching these marbles as dots in a thermocol having 6 holes. After this, let's come to the concept building and concept formation. It will have to be remembered that learning for a sighted child is very natural and spontaneous, whereas learning for a visually impaired child is very incidental. A visually impaired child will not be able to identify an object unless he gets an opportunity to touch it. Let's take an example. He may not know what a pair of tongs is. Tongs, I mean chimta. He may not be able to know what a pair of tongs is unless he gets the opportunity to feel it in his hand. Hence, adequate opportunity may be given to him to feel the real life objects in hand so that he is able to associate the shape with the word. So give him a lot of opportunity to feel objects lying in kitchen, objects lying in some other place, other rooms, etc. Next, I will talk about auditory sense, listening, oral sense. So similarly, he may be given a lot of opportunity to listen to bird calls identifiable with their names. Let him listen to the bird call and after that tell him the name of the bird. Similarly, sounds of animals may also be associated with the names of the sounds and various other sounds which may add to his knowledge of audio world. And then listening to music, etc., is of course a very commonplace thing which he may be relying upon in any case. So all these activities or exercises or things that I've talked about may be tried at home and the result will be very fruitful, very positive. And the main objective of keeping him engaged all the time will work out. So let us conclude now. It may be once again stated that the present time at home may be utilized for the visually impaired child as much as possible as the family members, parents, guardians may be his best teachers. Thank you.